Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 247, I believe. The 247. So, I have now been interrupted filming this video 3 times. So, hopefully, we can get through the video today. Because I really don't want to get dressed again tomorrow. Okay. Still working on coffee. It's 8:30 in the morning. So, well, at least my first attempt to start filming this video started at 8 o'clock, and now might be 9:30. Anyhoo. So, this week I have not had that much time to sit down and craft because I have been working on fall cleaning. So, I don't do kind of like traditional spring cleaning. I save a lot of that stuff for the fall. And I generally do it in the month of November, leading into when I am going to be starting to host everybody over here. We're going to have people in and out of the house a lot. I also do that because once the Christmas decorations go up, there are huge parts of the house I can no longer get to. So I try to make sure like everything is deep cleaned, scrubbed down. This is also the time where I'll go ahead and do things like I'll pull out the refrigerator, clean on the refrigerator, clean the coils, pull out the washer and the dryer, and kind of clean up back there where you just get all the little dust monsters and stuff. This year, I am going to try the hack where you take the leaf blower and blow out the dryer vent, because our dryer vent only has to go like this far. It's not huge. And I'd kind of like to get that blasted out because I'm noticing on the outside of the dryer vent, we've got some buildup. I don't think it's been cleaned in the last like 20 years. So, anywho, this is when I start doing tasks like that. I also, with having moved, we had parts of the house painted. We still have other parts that need to be painted. I need to start making my list of things like that and getting those kinds of things done. But anyway, it's just a lot of my week has been absorbed with fall cleaning. And so I really haven't sat down and really done a whole lot, but it'll probably, a lot of times this happens this time of year. This is when life is going to start getting really, really busy with other people. So, and other things like having to leave the house to go shopping for things. So it is what it is. But good news is after a year, 14 months of being in this house, I'm finally on to my normal morning routine, which means I've gone back to things like doing my Bible study in the morning. So hopefully by the end of 2024, I can finish my 2023 Bible study and start 2025 fresh on the first day of the year and in a clear mind space. That'd be nice. I think that's a legitimate goal to kind of go for. But I have actually taken the time this week to sit down and do my Bible study and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. That has afforded me a couple extra minutes to do some work on things like all these granny squares I'm working on, because right now my world is nothing but a bunch of granny squares. So this is where I do my Bible study in the kitchen, at the kitchen table in the morning. And you can see like this morning, this is actually what I was working on. This is like, you can see it's the same cup of coffee and everything. So I try to actively listen and take notes. I am my number one way to learn thing is I'm a kinesthetic learner. I learn by doing. My second way of learning is by note taking or examining my notes. So by going over my notes, I used to in college, I would write notes in my form of shorthand and then type them in an outline format. And that actually really helped me a lot to remember a lot of information. But I'm not an auditory learner. That is actually one of the worst ways for me to learn how to do things. So doing something with my hands and keeping my hands engaged while I'm trying to actively listen and take notes on things, that actually does help me out quite a bit in trying to absorb information. It's still not the best way for me to learn, but it is a way for me to actively engage. So that's kind of like, I've been trying to like weave in ends and get pieces together working on these granny square scrap sweaters. So as you can see in that picture, I took what I had apparently set aside to be an advent 2 years ago. Some of those yarns, I guess, were from yeah, those were all from 2023. So that was supposed to be 2023's advent project. I don't know why I didn't do anything with it. Maybe it just got hidden because I found it in a random drawer in the cabinet in here. So I don't know. So anyway, that's what I'm working on right now, to do the third round on the granny squares as I'm doing everything. I did finish crocheting all of the tails from the Addie projects into one round grannies. So now that is what is in my Lila Styles bag. And I am already down to here for one round grannies without compressing these. I think I need for both sweaters a total of like 160. That gives me like 20 extra to play with for the centers. So I do have quite a few in here, but I also have some that I've set aside specifically for the tan and cream sweater, some that are actively going into the black sweater. So as you saw in the thumbnail, I have put together my first row for the sweater. And I think, well, obviously, this is going to be a cardigan. This is the back. So I'm working from the bottom of the back, join as you go with the granny squares, and I will bring it up over the front. So when I complete one front panel, I'll connect it and finish it at the neck here. This side will be completed in the join as you go method. So when I'm done with that, I'll come across the bottom front and then down the side of the back. I think that's how this is going to work out. And then each sleeve will start a new join as you go method, attaching these sleeves onto the sweater. So I think I have the math of the direction worked out to do this as a join as you go sweater, and we'll have nominal seaming to do. It'll just be under the arm and down the side seam, which I think will give enough structure. I don't think this is going to be so heavy that I'm going to have to add any reinforcement to the shoulder, but I could also do the sleeves, join as you go, and then sew them onto the shoulder, which would give reinforcement here. But that's something we can talk about as we get closer to that. I'll see how heavy the front and back are together, and then we'll see if I need to reinforce the shoulder seam or not. So anyway, that is where we are as far as joining squares together. I do have, I think this is like 18 squares that are woven in. So I'm trying to remember to just weave in until I have my joining tail here on the last tail. I don't like dragging that across and putting it in down here, which is where it's going to hide the best. So when I join these in, I will hide this under the black joining yarn in that corner. So all but one tail needs to be woven in. So that's 2, 4, 5 tails per square that need to be woven in before I join it into the sweater. But I do have a nice combination of inners and outers here. I mean, there's all sorts of different looks. The goal is to make these as scrappy as possible and keep the colors kind of really mixed up. So that's where we are there. So once I'm starting with the black one just because that's how I started. There was no rhyme or reason to that. I do want to do 2 of these just to demonstrate a point, a concept to you guys. But anyway, I'm putting it in this bin. Now I can take this, probably like when I go to bed tonight, I'll work on joining some of these into the second row, and that will kind of be how we're doing this. I am filming this on Tuesday again, so I'm trying to be on top of my game. Saturday, I'm not sure what order the videos are going up in. We will have a Tuesday video. We will have a Saturday video. I'm just not sure how that's going to play out, but Zivia. So this is where I have started my tans and creams. Like I said, I have different colors going into the second row that are all kind of in a flat palette. I have, I think, 3 different colors. Hello, Mr. Pippin. What's wrong? We're doing floofy ears. They're doing this. He's decided he wants to be a needy baby, so he's following me around. But we do have 3 different colors going into that second row, and then it will all be put together and joined with a single color across the whole sweater. And I do have certain ones that I've pulled to the side that I want specifically to go in this. I have a ton of this royal blue, so I want to make sure that that's equally distributed between the black sweater and the tan and brown sweater. So bada bing, bada boom. That is where we are on this one. I have not done any of the third rows on these yet, just some of the second rows. And I do have a couple more like tan cream tone yarns over there in the scrap bucket that I have in the other room. So as part of that, what wouldn't go into a 1 round granny, as I told you guys, I've gone total masochist with this scrap project, and I am making magic knot ball scrap balls. So somebody asked what I'm doing for these, and I'm doing that double slip knot thing. Of course, now I can't find like where I join these. And I am leaving small tails just because I have trust issues. So whatever this is going to be, small tails will just have to work into it. This is the kind of thing where I might actually make an ami out of these, because I have seen some scrap amis that I think are just precious. So like one of those like teddy bears or something. I don't know. It could just be a blanket. Who knows? But these are the 2 balls that I have. This one's now more like softball size, whereas this one is but right about baseball size. So I did add more to one of them after I talked to you guys last week. And oh, one of the things I did do last week is I came through my yarn stash and I went ahead. I didn't know if I was going to do this or not, but I did go ahead and set up bins for future Addie projects. So my goal is going to be doing 5 hat and scarf sets every month going forward. That way I can have 50 at the end of the year. So if I'm short 1 month, that's fine. I still will have 50. So I did go ahead and set up. One is strictly hat and scarf set planned yarns. One is I want to make some more of those shawls. And I still want to try making one of those shawls using the Karen cakes that I have, because I think that would also make a really squishy shawl. So I have enough of the candy shop to do 1 2-panel shawl and 1 3-panel shawl like I shared last week. So I do want to go ahead and crank those out as well. So I do have some things set aside to be shawls or specialty donation or gift items versus just strictly the hat and scarf donations that have high requirements, like no wool. We have some just plain granny squares that will be donation blankets. This is using the yarns that wouldn't go through my Addie. So these aren't actually scraps like they have been in the years past. These are just skeins that I'm trying to use up out of my stash. These are what's going to finish off that last of that impeccable that I was trying to use up. So the corner to corner is 10 rows using a size 5.5 millimeter hook, and the granny squares are also using the same 5.5 millimeter hook, 10 round granny squares. And they'll eventually get put into blankets. I'm not weaving in the ends on these as I go, and I have a feeling I'm going to severely regret that decision by the time I go to put these blankets together. So, but these will be donation blankets. I do have bags in my closet where these go, 1 for corner to corner and 1 for granny squares. So there is that. So that's my car project. I've been taking that in the car. Now that Halloween is over, I've had to retire my Halloween bucket. So I pulled out just a shopping bag and put the skeins of yarn in there. So kind of sad. I really like that bucket. It's kind of perfect for doing granny squares. because you can really, like, you just set them in on end and they perfectly sit in there, and you have places to tuck like your notions bag and stuff without being too formal about it. I think that's a me thing, though. That's not a normal people thing. That's definitely a me thing. Before I get to my piece of happy mail, I did want to let you guys know that if you are a member of Yarnable, and I think also just kind of on the website as well, there's going to be discounts, but it's the hypnotic sale where Cheryl puts all of the leftover kits from Yarnable on sale. I do have an affiliate link down below for Yarnable if you were looking to subscribe to the subscription box from Hypnotic Yarn. But you can also go get to the Hypnotic Yarn website through that link. But that's just down below in the affiliate links section. Now he's just standing out there staring at me yelling. Banner, I think, is under the bed for nap time, which he will probably stay under there until like 3 o'clock this afternoon. Pippin has decided that it's time to be awake. And this is normally his sleepy nap time too. So I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's being all weird. Frisky baby. As you guys are seeing this video, I have already sent the hats and scarves, by the way, from the 30-day project to Asheville. And I have 3 boxes of hats and scarves downstairs to take to Pershaw, which as you're watching this, I will be, as this goes live, I will be on my way to Pershaw. So by the time you're seeing this, these will have been dropped off for Richland County, South Carolina residents. So finally, I got all 70 hats and scarves out of the house. And so the final count for the year was 70. That will be my big donation for the year. I will not donate any more hats and scarves this year. So I had 70 sets and then 10 extra hats. So all those, by the time of you seeing this, will be distributed. And I'm so glad. That'll be a lot of warm heads this year. And now they're not in my house because they were taking up a lot of room in my house. That is the problem when you make things and kind of only donate once a year or do a drop off once or twice a year, is you do end up with like this giant pile of stuff that you have to. All right. So happy mail. I feel really bad. So this is from Connie over at Connie's Crochet Corner. Right? Did you put your channel name in here, Connie? Connie's Crafty Corner. She doesn't just crochet. She sews and she quilts and she crochets and she makes cards. So I didn't get this until this weekend. So unfortunately, I did not share this with you before Halloween. But she made these during the Spook Your Spring Make-Along, and I think they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And look at the inside. She's got it so cute. I really like these. This is not the style that I make, and I love it. Like, when you start getting into paper crafting, there's so many different things you can do, and it's so overwhelming. But I love like the splatter painting and stuff and using the different micas. And I love it on colored cardstock because it just, you can get a very subtle look or you can get this like heavy impact look. I don't know. I know I'm being weird, but I love it. I love it. But thank you so much, Connie. I love my card. I'm sorry I didn't check my mail actually for like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe. I got Laura's card and then didn't go again until like Saturday. So yeah, that was on me. That was my fault. So anyway, I love you guys. I think that is, I don't think I have anything. We didn't really watch anything. We watched football. We watched the ladies basketball game on Sunday. I think that's it. Anyway, please take care of yourselves. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the pet tax here at the end. And I look forward to seeing you real soon. Bye, you guys. So it's a normal afternoon here. We've got one napping Pippin. Cute, sweet as he can be. But where, oh where could my little Banner be? Is he hiding? Yes, he is.